Okay, so because so many people asked me about this practice technique, so many people, you're gonna have to first of all figure out your sensitivity and your crosshair. You have to have those down. Okay, if you don't get your crosshair and sensitivity down, you're not gonna be good, because you need to basically lock onto the heads like this. You see how I'm locking on? You need to like basically lock on like that essentially. And that's like a rough way of doing it. So look in the description. I got a video that teaches you how to find your best sensitivity and also how to find your best crosshair. The next thing you're going to practice is spraying. And I don't mean spraying like this. I mean spraying so that every single bullet is within the first bullet. So it's like roughly like that. So you're getting it like that very accurately. And if I had to explain how I'm doing this, I'm pulling down like this. And it's basically, essentially like that a little bit, so. You can see it. All the guns basically have like the similar recoil pattern. Then you want to practice burst, the 2-shot burst, and maintaining it, so. But obviously I'm doing it on a wall. And then you're doing it on these guys' heads, like really. But what ends up happening is okay, so what ends up happening is you end up getting a lot of recoil. So I want you to pay attention to the crosshair, and you're gonna see it start bouncing up like this while I'm locking onto the head. So if I do it fast enough, you're gonna see that, and that's what you want to practice for, is that crazy bouncing recoil and be able to control that. So there, it's happening now. You can see how it's kind of going off, but I'm not doing that. I'm aiming. But it's the RNG, it's basically like spraying is what it's doing. It's bouncing it around and you're fighting it to control it, so. See there? It was happening. So I'm fighting it to control that. If you can fight it, it'll help you get better at controlling your spray. You're gonna basically be like easy sprays. And then the last technique, which is the newest technique, which is the hardest. And by the way, I do these for up to like 500 kills each, and I'll be like really freaking good at it. So obviously you don't want to shoot really fast with the AK and the 2-shot. You want to control it, so it's like. Okay, so now the last technique is the tap shooting technique, which is equivalent to spraying, okay? So you're basically like, and not tapping to let the crosshair go up. Okay, a lot of people tap and let the crosshair go up. So this is what I mean by tap. You can see the crosshair is going up. That's the wrong tap technique. This is all wrong. It looks right, but it's all wrong. Because it's going up, right? So like essentially if you start tapping really quick, it goes all up, so. You can see it's like missing, right? So the proper tap is you gotta first be able to spray. Like that, and you want to tap equivalent to that, so you see? That's all a tap. So then you want to practice that tap into it. Now obviously the RNG is kicking in and okay, so what ends up happening is you eventually can tap, 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 spray, and you can get that, so it's like. Okay, it's just a little bit of practice, and it's a technique you gotta learn. But eventually, you get so good at controlling the recoil because of this, you're doing all these different shooting techniques on learning how to control the recoil, that you eventually know how to control the recoil in any situation. It just comes to you naturally. You just see somebody and you're just like right away locking onto their head. See what I mean? Like it just becomes so natural. Because if you do this practice technique and over again, up to like a certain amount of kills, it just becomes really easy to first of all lock onto the heads. Because with the tap technique, you're really focused on your crosshair. And with that, becomes like super lock-ons to the head. Like you can see I'll lock onto him and then instantly lock onto him. So like similarly, I can lock on from one to the other. But yeah, it might look like I'm missing, but that's the RNG that I'm fighting. But after fighting it so much, I eventually become like really good at locking on. And you basically get really good at knowing how to deal with the hit punch. Now another thing that is good to practice with is the M4. It's the same idea, you want to control the recoil. But the difference with the M4 is, and I'm going to do it with the 2-shot, because the AK is instant one hit to the face, no matter what. See? AK's instant one hit, but M4 is 2 hit. Right? And because of that, that means you need to make sure you hit both to the face. So you practice your spray to get it down so it's very tight. And obviously you can spray the heads and be really good with that, but the new technique that I'm practicing is the tap, and you're controlling it to be like the spray. So you could easily like now if you notice, this causes a lot of recoil to the crosshair, but this teaches you to be able to control your recoil. Now, I'm going to show you now some of you might say, well, why don't you do the 2-shot, like, because it works? The problem with that is, I used to do that, but sometimes you'll have areas where it doesn't hit the head, so you'll see here. See how it took me 2 bursts there? Again, see that? Even though it made the 2 sounds of the dink, it didn't kill him. Which means I have to spend another 2 bullets into his face to kill him. Again, there. And you don't want that. So, but if I do... If I practice the shooting, the tap shoot, you eventually realize that no matter the distance, you're going to kill him. But in the long run, after doing that, you're controlling the recoil that you basically have it such a tight recoil that when it comes to facing these guys, you don't even really bother with the tap shoot until they're like there. You see what I mean? You don't bother with the tap shoot until they're like extremely far, because you're so used at locking onto the head that you know to spray it, because you get so good at controlling the recoil with all these different techniques. Because I dare you to try the tap shoot technique. It's actually a lot of recoil to control. And the burst recoil and the RNG after shooting so many people, like I'll show you the RNG with the M4. It's actually pretty crazy, so I'm going to do it really quick. So there's the RNG right there. See how it's jumping and making it really hard for me to control it? If you can control that and get headshots with it, crosshairs on his head, but none of them hitting. And that's the RNG that you're fighting to control. If you can control that, you're going to get really good at like basically controlling the recoil. So it just becomes natural. And then with the tap shoot, you just know the distance. And the pro technique, by the way, the last technique, which is the pro technique, is I'm not controlling my recoil. Okay, this is me bursting, I guess, with controlling the recoil. With a little bit of control of recoil, okay? So it looks like that. Now, this is me spraying, and I swear on my life, I'm not controlling my recoil. And just crouching. Look at that. I am not controlling my recoil. I'm telling you, I am not. This is me just holding my shoot button and crouching, okay? So you can see the bullets literally go exactly to my crosshair, okay? I'm not controlling my recoil, I swear on my life. And it's perfectly accurate, right? So if you actually hold a position and crouch like that, you're going to make sure all the bullets go into there. So the pro technique, believe it or not, is they lock onto the head and just crouch. And that's their last pro technique. So you realize when you learn that, you realize you don't have to pull down, you just realize you just have to aim. And it'll do the work. So this also applies to the AK. This is me controlling it, and then this is me crouching. It's super accurate. So all you're doing when it comes to crouching is just you're tightening the RNG up, and it becomes really easy. So obviously what this comes to is you're spraying. So in case you ever run into a situation where you gotta crouch, you know what you're doing. But now you know like all the techniques, so you can just take guys out really quickly. And that's the practice technique. And overall, you want to be able to do bullets in there like that. And remember, all I'm doing is pulling down like this. Not down, not like that. Because this is what the recoil looks like if I pull like this. It looks like it's accurate, but it's really not. The right way is to pull down to the bottom right. It's more tighter. Like, see, this is pulling down to the bottom left. This is pulling down to the, like, that. That's pulling like this. And this is like that. Okay, so that's the practice technique. And I do this up to like 500 to 1,000 kills. It's a lot of work. After you get to like 500 kills, your hand might get a little sore, your muscles. And that's when you know you're doing it good, because now you're getting your muscles, I guess you could say your muscles are fine-tuning to your sensitivity. Because now you know your sensitivity. That's a tapping technique, by the way. But yeah, eventually your muscles get sore, and that's because your muscles are now fine-tuning to the sensitivity, and you're also getting smarter in the sense that you know how to control the recoil. So it's a two-factor purpose of doing this practice technique, because you're practicing not only you're fine-tuning your muscles to begin with, so it's kind of like a physical training thing, because you're gonna get sore after getting up to 1,000 kills. You'll notice your muscles are gonna get tense and sore. The next thing is you're also fine-tuning your brain, because now you know, like, you can actually lock onto the heads like this easily. You know what I mean? So you see how it's like I'm locking on, but yeah, the RNG's kicking in. And then of course you do want to do deathmatch. And that's what I do a lot, because then you're facing actual players and you're fighting the different situations, and you can wreck them. That's about all I gotta say. I love you all. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate all the support you guys leave on this video by liking it and commenting and even sharing it with your buddies. Like, you guys don't understand. That means the world to me when you guys do that stuff. And don't forget to check out some other videos on screen right now. So thanks for clicking the subscribe button and helping me out. And I will catch you guys in the next episode.